Hey, so one day, on the 3rd of whatever, I can't think right now, brain can't think of what month the 7th is, but that day, God revealed to me, just something cool, and I started writing about it, because I wanted to kind of record this moment in time that I had, and I thought I'd record it, so I'm just gonna read this right now. Uh, you could just read it for yourself, but I'm gonna read it out aloud because I think that's just better and people can hear if they're doing something. It's easier to listen to something than to read it. But I wrote this. Life is so much more than I can grasp. God put us in this life to do so much, and yet so much that I don't understand and is a mystery to me. Life with God in every second of life is so interesting. Incomprehensible. I am dumbfounded and amazed and confused. The horizons of potential, meaning, and being are complex. Life is just so much more than enjoying yourself, though God also gave us the experience of life to enjoy it in a much greater way than we can imagine. What is the perfect life? And that is not a question. This is the perfect life. Jesus is King, and consciousness and the human experience lived out for a willing purpose of not our own, which is God's, is a fascinatingly mind-blowing state of belonging and perfection, even if the purpose isn't complete or perfected, but is constantly looking at God's direction. As the sun reveals itself upon the garden, I wonder, even the good things are a mystery to us, the blessings of God, from life we enjoy, whatever they are. Just as we may approach negative situations in life, and I say negative because that doesn't exist, it's just our approach to less pleasant things that forms our understanding of whether or not it is negative, based on the objective end result of the experience. Asking why this is happening, or wondering where it came from, why and for what purpose, but not in a way of complaining, but instead having this question come from the inner desire to understand, to go deeper. Shouldn't we also think like this about the good things we have in life? Instead of just thinking simply and straightforwardly, having an approach to enjoy as much as we can the glad moments and hate the hardships? Having a consumerist mindset to life experiences, one who can only consume like a leech, not to say enjoying life to the full is bad, but to say that life is more than that and calls for more than that. And it is not enough to think like that. For life to manifest itself in the fullest, we need God. We need to step up to the level of life, to the level of God, for He says to be holy as He is holy. And we only then receive life in its fullest, when we chase after the fullest version of life, the deepest, which is God, because He has created life, by seeking His face and asking these questions on a deeper level of life, from which all answers flow. The answer of life is God. He, as the answer, gives Himself to us, but we must first also give ourselves to Him, because first to have life on a deeper level in its fullness and somewhat understand, we will never understand because we're not God, the whys of life. We need to have life on a foundational level. Without understanding and knowing the basics of God, we will not learn and be taken by Him to new and higher levels of life and blessings. Without God, we have no life. But through changing our perspective and approach this way, to question even the blessings in life, also other than doing what Jesus said to be, glad and rejoice in persecution. Though this is not just talking about that, but through this, we open our minds up to God's mysterious ways and acknowledge His creation and being and life and purpose more, finding joy in everything in between, even complete enlightenment through not being able to comprehend the vast scale and course of the will of God, making his sovereignty complete in its fullness, which is also his expression of perfect love to us, showing us a glimpse of what amazing things are to come after death for us that believe. This life is just a prelude. So, this may have been said a bit too fast, so you may just want to take a look at this writing, pause it in your own time, because the ordering of a couple of sentences is a bit weird, and there is a long bracket here which kind of cuts a sentence in half, so it sounds a bit weird, but I hope this can give you some wisdom and better understanding of God's wisdom, of God's knowledge, of the Christian faith, maybe encourage you and show you that life is really more than we can understand, and you are valuable. You are loved by God, and no matter what you may think of yourself, no matter where you came from, or who you are, or what people say about you, you are loved in the sight of God. Now, even through sin, even though we are bad people, he still loves us. And even when we are maybe not struggling with sin as much as we used to, and even when we may think of ourselves as perfect, God still loves us. And none of us are ever going to be perfect. Though some people believe that at the end of life, as we gain more wisdom, we become that much filled with wisdom that we will no longer sin. I don't know if that is true, but we must always keep our eyes on God and remember that you are loved. And most importantly, remember to show that love back to God by simply just spending time with him, as a father wants to spend time with his child. And God bless.